Welcome back, everybody, to KWEXL Radio Live Stream. I'm your host with the most, Big Boss from the left coast, the best coast, the west coast, Neon Black Chevelle. Love, lies, and paychecks. Alright, so today's conversation might make some people uncomfortable, but it needs to be had. This one isn't about cheating. It's not about loyalty in the unusual sense. This is about something quieter, something that doesn't explode right away, but erodes things over time. Picture this. A couple, 5 years together, a child, a real household, real responsibility. And for their entire relationship, she's always made more money than him. That's the dynamic. It's understood, it works. And then one day, he loses his job. But here's where it gets complicated. He's not broke. He received a severance. Bills are still being paid. Nothing looks different on surface. So from the outside, nothing changed. But in reality, everything did. Because he didn't just lose income. He lost his position, his structure, his role. And instead of sharing that, kept the routine. Still waking up, still getting dressed, still walking out the door. Like everything was normal. He didn't just lose the job. He kept the illusion of having one. Not for a day, not for a week, but for 2 months. She just found out. So now we're here. And the question isn't just, why didn't he tell her? The real question is, what exactly did he break when he stayed silent? Now, let's strip emotion out of this for a second, and let's talk about the facts. He lost his job. He didn't tell his partner. They share a child. They share a life, and she found out. And here's where it gets deeper. For 2 months, he's still waking up, getting dressed for work, walking out of that door like everything is normal. Same routine, same energy, same, see you later, baby. And he's gone for hours, not working, performing, maintaining an illusion, coming back home like nothing's changed. Now let me ask you this. Is it worse to be told late or to find out on your own? But before we go in on him, let's understand him, or try to at least. Because if you skip this part, you miss the whole story. This man might be thinking, I already make less. Now I make nothing. If I tell her, I look like I'm failing. Let me fix this first, then I'll say something. A lot of people, especially men, are wired like this. Don't bring a problem, bring a solution type of mindset. So in his mind, this might not feel like deception. It might feel like he's protecting his position until he recovers. Now add another layer. When he finally told her in therapy, he said he was made redundant. That means his role at his job was eliminated and not necessarily for his performance or lack thereof. And with that, he likely received a severance package. So from his perspective, bills are still being paid, responsibilities are still being handled. Nothing has collapsed. Yet. Which can justify the silence in his mind, right? Nothing's falling apart, let me fix this first. But let's be real. At some point, it stopped being about buying time and became a full-time lie. Because this wasn't just any job. He was a business banking manager. That's long days, structured hours, responsibility. You dig? So now the question gets heavier. If you weren't at work, where were you? Be honest. If you lost your income today, would you tell your partner immediately, or would you try to buy yourself time to fix it? Now bring the emotion back into this, because this is where everything changes. From her side, for 2 months, she's been living with someone who knew that a decision was made that affected her life and chose not to share it. And not only that, he looked her in the face every morning, walked out that door, and played the role. That's not small. That's not, I forgot to mention something. That's that, I made a decision to keep you out of the truth. And when that happens, the question becomes, what else could you be keeping from me? And let's go further. If you can maintain that level of performance for 2 months, 60 days, how do I know the redundancy story is even true? How do I know that you lost your job because the position was taken away and not based off of your performance? How do I know that to be true? You could be lying about that. Because if you can lie like that, and for 60 days, walking out the house, getting dressed like you're going to work, and you know the conversations were had when he came back to work. How was work today, baby? How was work today, honey? So if you can lie like that for that long, you can lie about how it ended too. Be real. Do you feel lied to or just left out if this happened to you? Would you feel disrespected or just disappointed? Does this shake your trust or break it completely? Let me know in the comments. And one more layer. He also had a child from a previous relationship. No confirmed issue, but that's still pressure. Now he's juggling fatherhood in 2 situations, financial imbalance, hidden unemployment. But that doesn't excuse it, but it adds context. So you might be asking, well, Chevelle, back up. You said he broke something. Well, what exactly did he break? Well, I'm glad you asked. For one, transparency. We face life together. He faced it alone. Number 2, partnership. You don't go solo with a shared life and a child. Number 3, emotional safety. If your partner can't bring you bad news, something deeper is off. And number 4, time-based trust. That wasn't a moment. That was 60 days of decisions. That brings me to another question. Can good intentions still break trust? Now let me flip it. Let me flip the role. Let's do a little role reversal. Same situation. She loses her job, says nothing, keeps leaving every morning. Does it feel the same or does it hit different? Y'all let me know in the comments. So there's a deeper issue here. And that issue is, do people hide things because they're dishonest or because they don't feel safe being vulnerable? And what should she do? Now, you've got options. You can work through it, rebuild trust, set new boundaries, or simply walk away. But is walking away that simple when you both share a household and share a child? But the reality of all of those options is that none of those options happen without addressing what was broken. Let me tell you something. I feel that a lot of times nowadays, everywhere you look, people are throwing the word love around like it doesn't have its meaning, like it doesn't have its own place in the world, like it's not as serious as it actually is. A relationship isn't just about love. It's about how you show up when life gets hard. What's more difficult to live with? Sharing a life with someone who quietly shuts you out when things fall apart? Or loving someone and never being sure if what you're being told is the truth? This is Neon Black Chevelle. Lock in. Peace.